Going to call to order the regular city council meeting on January 7th, 2025 at 6 p.m. Madam Clerk, may we have roll call, please?
Councilman Werner,
Here.
Councilman Martinez,
Present.
Councilwoman Leonard,
Present.
Vice Mayor Langowski,
Present.
Mayor O'Connor.
Present.
We have a quorum.
Please stand and join me for the pledge if you're able. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. You be seated, please. Your additions, deletions, or modifications. Ken, do we have?
Yes, Mr. Mayor. The original presentation from Ms. Dewey has been canceled due to conflicts and stuff. She will not be here. It'll be rescheduled for a later date.
Okay. So let's strike that presentation, the history of Westlake, from the agenda. Counselor, do I need a motion to approve the modified agenda?
Yes, sir. To amend it.
Move amendment of the agenda with the deletion of the presentation proclamation.
Second.
We have a motion by Councilman Werner, seconded by Vice Mayor Langowski. Roll call, Councilman Werner,
Yes.
Councilman Martinez,
Yes.
Councilwoman Leonard,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Langowski.
Yes.
Mayor O'Connor.
Yes.
Motion carries.
I'd like to now please entertain a motion to approve the agenda as amended.
Motion to approve agenda as amended.
I second.
Motion by Councilman Martinez, seconded by Councilwoman Leonard. Roll call, Councilman Martinez,
Yes.
Councilwoman Leonard,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Langowski.
Yes.
Mayor O'Connor,
Yes.
Councilman Werner.
Aye.
Motion carries 5-0.
Moving forward to the consent agenda. This section of the agenda consists of routine or administrative items that require final approval by the city council and may be approved in its entirety by a single motion. There will be no discussion of these items unless a council member requests such, in which event the item will be removed from the consent agenda and considered on a future agenda. May I have a motion if there is no?
Move approval of the consent agenda, including items A, B, and C.
Second.
Motion by Councilman Werner, seconded by Councilwoman Leonard. Roll call, Councilwoman Leonard,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Langowski,
Yes.
Mayor O'Connor,
Yes.
Councilman Werner,
Yes.
Councilman Martinez.
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0. Thank you.
We have before us the first reading of ordinance 2025-01, enacting a new code for the city of Westlake, Florida. City Attorney, please read by title only.
Yes, sir. Ordinance by title only, an ordinance adopting and enacting a new code for the city of Westlake, Florida, providing for the repeal of certain ordinances not included therein, providing a penalty for the violation thereof, providing for the manner of amending such code, and providing such code, and this ordinance shall become effective.
I'm going to ask that staff does give some explanation on this item.
Do you want to do it or? Thank you, Zoe. Yes, Mayor and Council and audience. Basically, when the city starts, it writes its ordinances. As you finish with your ordinances, your land development regulations, et cetera, you go through a codification process, which is with what was called Muni Code, which puts your code online where everybody can access it and stuff. This resolution and ordinance is to do that exact thing, is to move it from a cluster of ordinances to the codification process where it's all codified. That way, if you in the future, everybody can read it. Also, if it's amended in that format so that everybody knows what happened.
Is anything being changed? Is anything being modified? Are we adopting the ordinances, modifying the ordinances that we already have in place?
Their legal and our legal has gone through it to make sure that everything that was originally put forward in an ordinance in our code is the same in the codification process. No changes.
And Mr. Mayor, for my comment, this is exceptionally consistent with other municipalities in the state of Florida.
Thank you, Counselor.
Any question?
Let's open up for council discussion.
Thank
Councilman
you.
Werner?
Thank you, Mayor. A question to the city manager, the timing before we can see the codified version?
Question.
The codified version should be available shortly after this is approved, correct?
It has to go to second reading, and after second reading, it should be up online within the week.
Very good.
Any other comments from council?
I have none.
All right, let's go to open the public hearing. Madam Clerk, are there any public comments on this agenda item?
I have no public comments on this agenda item.
Okay, please. State your name and address for the record.
Hi, Alicia Torres, 5847 Whippoorwill Circle. I just want to make sure, so nothing in the code for the city of Westlake is changing. It's just the way that we make amendments to the code that is,
No, it's basically being published on what's called Muni Code. So it's easily searchable online.
okay, but the
Nothing's
code itself
changing.
is not changing. Okay,
That's the same question I asked,
okay.
just for clarification. I wanted everybody to be aware of that.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you.
And also for research, it puts it in the same format that every other city in the state of Florida is in. It's in Muni Code. You can go on Muni Code, search it, it's right there.
Okay, if there's no further comments, I'm going to close the public hearing. And if there's no further discussion, may I have a motion?
Motion to approve ordinance 2025-01.
Second.
Motion by Councilman Martinez, seconded by Councilman Werner. Roll call, Vice Mayor Langowski.
Yes.
Mayor O'Connor,
Yes.
Councilman Werner,
Yes.
Councilman Martinez,
Yes.
Councilwoman Leonard.
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0.
Thank you. Resolution 2025-01, approving and authorizing
Mr.
the
Mayor.
strategic planning.
Mr. Mayor, I
proposal.
believe you skipped the first public comments.
What do you, wait,
You went from addition to deletions right into the presentations and consent agenda.
Additions.
oh, look at that. All right, let's open for public comment on any agenda item. If anybody would, I did completely skip that. Look at that. If anybody would like to make any comments, you'll have an opportunity at the very end of the meeting as well. But if anybody would like to make a public comment now, you have 3 minutes
Mayor, I do have a public comment card from
Absolutely.
Kevin Summy.
on anything.
Mr. Mayor,
Mayor,
Mr. Mayor,
let's-
Mr. Mayor,
Let's have Ms.
we have a public comment card
Oh, we
already.
have some cards.
We do.
Let's go through the cards first.
Mayor, I have a public comment card from Kevin Summy. Please go to the podium, state your name and address. You have 3 minutes.
Kevin Summy, 15763 Goldfinch in Meadows. Is there a PBSO representative?
Sure is.
My thing is traffic, not just traffic, but I'm retired. I'm around the city all the time. I've seen people go the wrong way on the roundabout. Well, several cars don't stop at the stop sign. I was just wondering what we're doing about it. That's
First-
why I asked if there was a PBSO.
There is.
First I've heard about it. I will get with the lieutenant and make sure we address that.
First, you've heard about the traffic in Westlake?
No, about the regarding the issues of people going wrong way on the traffic circle,
Well, that's
stuff
just
like
one
that.
time I seen it. I seen several stop signs. I seen people out on Seminole Pratt coming out of the Christ Fellowship about get killed. I'm just wondering what the PBSO
Well, that would
For
be
Westlake.
Water's Edge.
is doing.
Perhaps you can let them know some of the steps we've taken to
No.
curb some of our traffic issues.
That would be good. Thank you, guys.
Absolutely.
There's a couple things that are in process. Currently, we're going to be turning the intersection of Crestwind Access and Town Center Parkway North will become a four-way stop. Also, there will be traffic control devices installed on Water's Edge, which will narrow it down to only one left-hand turn from Water's Edge onto Seminole Pratt. The other 2 lanes will be blocked off. You can turn right to go north, or you can turn left to go south. So that should stop the people that are going 2 and 3 abreast, trying to make a left-hand turn down by Christ Fellowship. I believe Christ Fellowship does have officers during their, after their services to get cars on and off, but the rest of the week, there is nothing down there except for people making left-hand turns legally and some people illegally.
I'll also add that some rumble strips were just recently installed at the roundabouts to get people to pay attention coming into the roundabout, because it seems we have an issue with people running into the roundabouts over and over again. It sounds ridiculous, but it's a real issue. So we've added some rumble strips to get people to wake up and look up. And from what I know, I think since we put them in,
Nothing
nobody's
yet.
crashed into the roundabout. So We are actively monitoring traffic and taking precautions and
Just one more thing, I'm sorry.
Stand up at the microphone then, sir.
yeah, it's sorry, it's.
I would just encourage you, if we do have a lieutenant or a PBSO, to have them here for questions and
They're here. You can,
That'll be at the end of the meeting, sir.
I apologize, man. Apologize.
and,
Thank you. That's
and
all
you
I
can
have.
also talk to PBSO after the meeting.
Do we have any other comment cards?
Yes, Mayor, we have Theodore Sarandis.
Mr. Sarandis, state your name and address for the record, please.
Yes, Ted Sarandis, 15780 Crestwind Place. Thank you very much, Mr. Mayor. I submitted a written statement to you and the council members. I ask that you instruct the city clerk to please include this statement on the city website, the meeting minutes for tonight, and the February 3rd meeting agenda. The Westlake City Charter was written before the city was incorporated without input from residents, since they were not at the time. It would greatly benefit the citizens of Westlake for the city council to establish a charter review committee and bring its recommendations to the city council for public input at a future meeting. The city's comprehensive plan was established soon after the city was incorporated. There were very few residents at that time. It's now been 9 years since incorporation, and Westlake now has a growing population of over 3,000 households. It's time to establish a comprehensive plan and a series of public hearings will allow the public input for suggested amendments to residents. Every resident I've talked to does not support the roadblock coming to Westlake. The mayor and council must retain services of an economist, market analyst experienced in community land use to help identify the most resident-friendly use commercial property. Mr. Mayor and the council to invite Minto decision maker, the all-powerful John Carter, to appear here at the lodge in a special community town hall, discuss proposed Walmart with the residents. Lastly, the city roads and traffic signs will remain under the control of the Seminole Improvement District in a strange way for me for 30 years. It's only common sense for the city of Westlake that you and the council oversee to control the roads and the traffic signs. This agreement does not benefit residents and must be changed now. I urge you and the council to schedule a special public hearing as soon as possible to address these issues. I look forward to comment now, and my email address is on the bottom of the statement. I look forward to hearing from all of you. Thank you.
Appreciate your time.
You have a comment card from Bobby Farber.
Barber.
Bobby Farber, 4829 St. Armand's Way. I guess this ties right into everything that's being discussed. The marquees look great. They're red, green, and beautiful colors. Everyone could see them. But the roundabout, I noticed that they put in all new landscaping, but all the lights are broken. So when they go to fix them, are they going to destroy the landscaping again? They're not only out in the roundabout, they're also out in the surrounding areas. I also noticed with the rumble strips, I encourage everyone to drive over there. They're useless. They don't discourage anyone from anything. They're barely there. And I would put on record that that should be replaced with some type of speed bump. Where you're gonna know that you hit something and you're gonna know to slow down with that. Driving around the city from Persimmon, from Seminole Pratt Whitney, all the ways down to the Pines, there's 17 lights out. Going from Town Center Parkway, north and south, all the ways back the opposite way, there's another 15 lights out, 3 of them are blue. Pretty unacceptable. They're not being fixed. They're out. There's also stuff on some of our other cross streets. FPL has a 40-day response time, and I've been discussing this with you all for months. They're not honoring that. All right, I've asked if we can get numbers on the polls. Any resident here who wants to call in cannot do so. There is no number. and then you have to guess on a location. So they're kind of like very devious as how they're doing this. The blue lights got fixed at one point, but the only reason they got fixed is because I spoke to them. The gentleman that was out there, they were hired by Acuity Brands. They were just out there to fix the blue lights that they had sold, and that it was their responsibility to fix. I also encourage, if there's any money left over at any given point, if we could get a crosswalk at the fitness trail. Beautiful place, 5 golf carts, that's it. So we want pedestrians to go in there. We'd like to see people walking traffic. I'm in there. I do 14 miles around the city 3 times a week. And there's nobody there. So that's what I got for you this month. Put you in the know in case they're telling you anything different. Thank you very much.
I appreciate it, Mr. Farber. Thank you. Madam Clerk, comment cards?
Miss Alicia Torres?
Alicia Torres, 5847 Whippoorwill Circle. First quick thing, I was just looking to see if there are hours in the city charter established for mixed use retail. The only hours I could find had to do with massage places that had massages. But I just wondered in general, if we get these big box stores and whatnot, if there's.
Generally,
hours.
ma'am, charters do not address hourly operation. That's left to the code of ordinances.
Oh, code of ordinances then? Is there anything like that?
I believe there is. Can,
That'll be in the, it's in the code, it's in the codification, exact chapter at this point in time. I do not know off the top
I'll
of my
have
head.
staff get back to you on that specifically. And if you could copy me on that as well, Ken, because I want to see it.
And then the second thing was that I was at the SID meeting last night and I asked them about financing for this big park that's going in at Sycamore and Seminole Pratt Whitney. And it sounded kind of bleak. They didn't say there was really any money for the park other than they had just used some APRA funds, which had to do with COVID relief.
Yeah.
And then they also said that they do have someone out there looking for grant money, but that they have not heard anything back yet. So I just wondered, what's the city side?
What's happening on the city
perspective?
side? Ken, do you want to touch on that or would you like me to?
We will be putting in some appropriations requests this cycle with the state to see if we can come up with additional funds. Plus, the city and SID will be applying for the FERDAP grants, which are mostly towards parks. But again, once you build the park, there's a maintenance cost that ongoing. It will be borne by the residents through either taxes or assessments.
So to be perfectly clear, we're actively attempting to raise money to pay for the park.
It'll take several years.
Correct. It's not a happening this week project. The initial phase was majorly funded by the ARPA funds. Those were federal relief funds that we got, and we found a way to apply all those funds towards the building of the park. And that's the work you see going on now. Not raising taxes to pay for the park. Madam Clerk,
I have no additional comment cards, Mayor.
who's here who'd like to make a comment?
Chad Isaacson, 15398 Goldfinch Circle. Circling back to, I want to thank him for that amazing letter that he spoke about, but I know there's a lot that you guys like to say is we have no control, we have no control, we have no control. Famous words of the city. You guys do the comp plan. You can do a look at the development plan and see about changing that. But at the end of the day, what I'd like to ask, because nobody on the city has seemed to say, we are against Walmart. None of it's been published by you guys. So I'd like to ask individually, each one of the councilmen, mayor, vice mayor, put your hand up if you're against Walmart and Lowe's officially.
I'm not against Lowe's. I'll say it clearly.
Wait a second. Well, to the city attorney, would it be appropriate for council members at this point, without hearing the whole story?
No, sir, it'd be put the city at risk.
Okay, so as citizens, then after the fact, you can step up and say, at the end of the day, there is something. You guys, can you guys officially put out a statement to Minto or have conversations with Minto
at 6:46 PM. I believe we were still at public comment. And this is public comment on anything anybody would like to speak about. But
Sir, you already spoke.
we already spoke.
Can I do something at the end? I got.
At the end, sure. Absolutely. When we call for public comment again. Do we have any more public comments?
Hi, Doreen Winkler, 4776, the State Circle. We have a raceway going on now at the road opening. And if they don't do something, somebody's going to really, they gotta either put speed bump.
What, I'm sorry, what road are we talking about?
Simmons, coming out of the States.
The estates, got it.
So, I mean, they're going so fast. I mean, also the roads, I mean, all the way down the line, you guys only have one stop sign. And then after that, it's a free for all. They're going doing about 6 people go down into the new development. Since they went to that road. So I'm worried about like kids, people on the carts especially. It's hard with the car because first you don't see anybody and then all of a sudden they're there. I mean, it's gonna be a problem.
Okay,
So just.
thank you so much. Do we have any more public comments before we move forward with the agenda? Okay. Going back to Resolution 2025-01, which is approving and authorizing the strategic planning proposal. City Attorney, please read by title.
Yes, sir. Resolution by title only, a resolution, City Council, City of Westlake, Florida, approving and authorizing appropriate city officials to execute the strategic planning proposal from the International Institute for Leadership Development and Training for the purpose of defining the city's strategic plan, providing for conflict, severability, and provide for an effective date.
Ken, do you want to make a comment on this?
Yes, Mr. Mayor and Council, as a follow-up to your comments a couple of months ago regarding where we're going in the future, some other comments on that have been received tonight regarding comp plan modifications, et cetera. I have gone out to Mr. Dale Sugarman to give us a proposal for the council. As most other cities do, you do a strategic plan at least once a year to plan out the next 2 to 5 years on what your desires are, where you want to go, and different things. He has it together a plan for us. We're looking at sometime in March for the council, and we'll be going forward. It'll be a 2-day affair for the council, 2 full days. And if you have any,
Do we have dates yet or no?
no, I need to set a date with you all to find out what's good.
Do we have some council discussion on this item?
A question to the city manager. You're referring to Dale Sugarman, who's the representative for this company. Have you worked with other companies, or is this the only one? And have you looked at other options?
I've worked with several, and I've known Mr. Sugarman's work. He's worked for a number of different cities and has done an excellent job. So that's why I reached out to him.
Okay, well, I looked through it and I'm pleased with what he's presented. I just want to know if there were other proposals.
No, I just went with Mr. Sugarman. He was also the individual that worked with the city a couple of years ago when we were having some issues with the prior legal counsel.
I recall.
Got us through those issues.
Do we have any other comments from council?
I do. When this is all completed, will he come and present before the council and then so the public can hear?
Dale, I'll let you follow up.
Will this procedure be open to the public?
Parts of it, yes, parts of it, no. But I'll let Dale explain how the process goes.
Good evening. Dale Sugarman, 4343 Starview Boulevard, Boynton Beach. Only took me an hour and 10 minutes to get here tonight from Hypoluxo and Lawrence Road. I will answer any questions you want, or if you want, I'll give you like a 3 or 4 minute presentation, what this whole process will be about. You want Do questions or you want a presentation?
Just a presentation.
Okay, great. Okay, so you should have in front of you.
Dale, can you get the mic a little bit better?
Or raise it.
Should have. It's on. It's
No.
It died. It died.
You should have a proposal in front of you dated December 18th. Development of a strategic plan for the city. Your manager mentioned it would be a 2-day strategic planning workshop. Actually, what I'm going to do is I'm going to begin with interviews. I'm going to spend about an hour with each of the 5 of you in a one-on-one interview. I have about 16 questions that I want to ask you about your work as the governing body, but also about the city. I will collect that information and put it together in a report without attribution. So I'll get your input and we'll bring it to the workshop, but no one will know who said why, unless you've been paying attention to what someone said before historically. I'll also do a 1/2-day community engagement meeting. It'd be a meeting open to the public. Oh, let me go back and answer that first question. Everything that you do in this workshop, this strategic planning workshop, will be open to the public. There'll be nothing behind closed doors. Our one-on-one interviews will be one-on-one. But when we get into the actual workshop setting, the public can attend. There will also be public comment during the workshop, as much or as little as you would like. But I will also do a 1/2-day community engagement meeting where the public can come and chat with me about all of their issues. And that will be written down and put in a report, again, without attribution. And I'll bring that to the 2-day workshop. And we'll look at what the community has told me, and without attribution, so that nobody has to give anything away. Then the strategic planning workshop will begin. We do have to find 2 days where everybody can commit to 2 full days, sometime in March. If you want to do like a Friday and a Saturday, that's fine. If some of you work during the week, you may have to give up a Friday at work. So Friday or Saturday. If you want to do a Tuesday and a Wednesday, that's fine. We can do whatever you want. I think what we'll do is we'll coordinate the dates with the clerk.
Days need to be consecutive?
They do need to be consecutive, because once we get on a roll, we don't want to stop. We don't want to lose our momentum. But once the strategic planning process begins, we do things like, we'll do an environmental scan. What's an environmental scan? It's a historical review of where the community's been, say, over the last 5 years. And we'll look at some statistics, demographics, budget trends, growth and development, crime statistics, land use, zoning, traffic, those kind of things. We'll look at numbers, get a picture of the environment of Westlake and where it's been. I'll also be sharing, again, the results of the community engagement and the one-on-one themes with everybody at the workshop. From there, after all of that, we will develop a city vision. What's a city vision? It's where we want to go. Then, once we know what our vision is, we'll create a city mission. And what's a city mission? Well, a city mission is, we now know where we're going to go. The mission is, how do you get there? And the third thing we're going to do at that point is we're going to do organizational core values, which is, how are we going to behave going forward? Toward the end, we're going to identify strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and challenges for the community. We will identify what are called SMART goals. I'll tell you what SMART goals are, right? Maybe you know what a SMART goal is, okay. But I'll share that with you at the workshop. We'll craft consensus priorities for the community. And you're the governing body. So you're the ones who set the priorities for the community. We'll finish with public comment, council comment. At the end of the 2-day workshop, I will take all that information to the office and I will write a report for you. I will deliver that report, either send it to you. Another public meeting, I'd be happy to do so. I should have a final strategic work for you. Next week, with the wrap up of the strategic plan workshop.
I have a question as well.
So the entire public attend this entire process. I assume that they will be participating in the community engagement aspect of it.
They will absolutely participate. And frankly, I don't want any elected officials at the community engagement meeting.
Fantastic.
Amazing.
Now, my question is, how is the public going to be notified about this community engagement night or day or whatever it may be? How do we get the word out to them so they know this is their opportunity to truly shape?
So what I'm hoping to do is I'm hoping to do the public engagement meeting during the month of February.
Okay.
Middle of February, toward the end of February, 2 or 3 weeks before we actually do the 2-day workshop. I will really leave it up to the city to do the announcements. I don't have a mailing list.
Right.
I don't know exactly how it's best to engage the
Okay.
community and notice. Working with the court, I can.
Because I mean, if we don't do that properly,
Absolutely. So.
the whole thing's not, it's a waste. So I'm going to instruct staff that if this goes forward, let's do everything in the world to get the word out.
Will do.
And we've also got our resident Westlake Wanderer here. You heard it straight from him. I'm going to count on you as well.
I have something else now we're talking about getting the word out. You said we might have to give up a day for us to meet. Obviously, our residents work. What times are you available for this meeting to take place?
I was thinking we do it on a Saturday.
Even better. Perfect.
Like.
The community
9
engagement.
o'clock to 1 o'clock kind of thing. If the city
Great.
will provide donuts, I'll provide the process.
I think we can handle
We can make that happen.
it.
Now I'm hearing words choose.
All right, so you guys here, we're talking about an opportunity for the public to truly help shape the strategic plan of the city. And I think that's wonderful. I think we have some questions from the rest of the council.
That was my question was if we can't do a weekend, if we're going to do an evening on a weekday, it needs to be something that goes into the evening.
My
For people.
assumption is it'd be better to do a Saturday.
I'm happy with the Saturday.
Yeah.
That's fine.
I'm fine with the Saturday. I think that makes the most sense for the community.
Yes.
Excellent.
Unless you believe.
No, I agree with that.
No,
Saturday is better.
let's do Saturday.
Saturday is better. I just didn't want you to do like a Wednesday from 9 to 3 or something.
Yeah.
Right. Tuesday at 4,
Comments, we may need more than 4 hours.
possibly.
Yeah.
The budget's allocated 4 hours.
Great. Do we have any other questions from council?
No, it sounds like a very good process and I think it's well worth our pursuing. And I wish we'd have done this earlier.
I've done this with a number of cities. Couple quick things, approve it. Let me tell you in advance. It will be painful at times.
Good.
But I have some tips and tricks that I use to help you engage with each other to reduce the pain. You're also going to need to be as comfortable as you possibly can be. I plan on wearing just jeans and a shirt for the 2 days. The city should provide food. So we can't work without food. So you're going to need to provide, again, dinner
Sure.
in the morning, lunch in the afternoon, maybe an afternoon snack. And I also suggest that we do it off-site.
Okay.
If we can, and he thought maybe we could do it at one of the convention center sites or one of the hotels. We haven't figured it out yet. But we did.
What's the logic behind that? Doing it off-site?
There will be no dais. You will not be sitting as a governing body making approving ordinances and resolutions. You're going to be brainstorming strategic thinking, strategic planning. It needs to be a relaxed atmosphere. You're going to want a U-shaped table.
Okay, well, we can work those details out.
Yeah.
I mean,
Although,
Offsite
frankly, this might be considered off-site, typically.
we can lose the dais, open this up completely, get you a U and save a bunch of money.
Yes, sir. It's my
That's-
preference that it takes place in Westlake.
I'm sorry?
It should take place in the city.
Okay, that's fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, we could use the terrace if we want to use the terrace outside, but
Need a comfortable setting that's not so business.
understood. We can lose the dais completely and open this wide open
Right.
and,
Mayor, on that same note, when the city manager and Mr. Sugarman put that together, and if we do it here, can we make sure there's no other events going on?
of course.
With music and.
Of course.
That will be the trick, to find a date and a time where they don't have anything else going on. They have a lot of stuff going on a consistent basis in the amenity center now. So we may end up in an off-site location.
Gotcha. Okay, well, we will.
As far as cost, you're going to have a cost here, you're going to have a cost there.
Try and work it out.
Would you be using our comprehensive plan for any part of this to set the basis, structure the topics, let us look at what is already there? Do we build on it, throw it away, put it in the garbage? Like, what is going to be the,
Do everything but put it in the garbage.
okay,
Yes, we will look at the comprehensive plan, you'll look at the comprehensive plan, that's gonna be part of the environmental scan. So now, the two-day workshop is not a rewrite of your comprehensive plan.
Correct.
But it is part of the environmental scan, so we'll look at things like planning, zoning, traffic, land use,
okay,
but we'll only do that briefly. This is not the rewrite of the comprehensive plan.
okay. Thank you.
Any other comments?
Two more quick things. One is, these are public meetings, so we will
Yeah.
have an agenda, we call to order.
And public comment at the end.
And public comment at the end, yes. Now, I'll announce this now because we do seem to have quite a few people engaged here. The public will not be participating in the strategic planning workshop. They are welcome to come. They're welcome to observe, welcome to take note. And if you designate times during the workshop where you will invite people to come up to the microphone to make comments, that will be allowed. That's your decision. But when we're working in the workshop, there will not be any dialogue with the public. That will be saved exclusively for set aside time of public comment.
Okay. And obviously the community engagement day is all community engagement. We're not even present.
You can't be there
I love it.
and anybody can come.
Very cool. Okay. If there's no further discussion by the council, may I please entertain a motion?
Motion to approve resolution 2025-01.
Second.
I'm sorry, I didn't catch who did the second. Thank you.
Vice Mayor.
We have a motion by Councilman Martinez, seconded by Vice Mayor Langowski. Roll call, Mayor O'Connor,
Yes.
Councilman Werner,
Yes.
Councilman Martinez,
Yes.
Councilwoman Leonard,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Langowski.
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. I think that's great. We have before us Resolution 2025-02, supporting the procurement and oversight of consultants for the development of this says countrywide, but I believe it's supposed to say countywide transportation plan. That's definitely an R. Mine says countrywide. City Attorney. please.
Resolution by title only, a resolution, City Council, City of Westlake, Florida, supporting the procurement and oversight consultants for the development of a countywide transportation plan, supporting the formation of a technical advisory committee for the same, providing for conflict, severability, and effective date.
Ken?
Yes,
City
Mr.
Manager?
Yes, Mr. Mayor, this is a request from the county and other municipalities to support the effort of a countywide transportation plan and a securing of consultants to do that work for the county. It'll be really the first time the county has done this with the support of all 39 municipalities. The city managers of the various municipalities have been deeply involved in making sure that city input was part of the process in the RFP and will be involved in the overall operation from time to time. So you will have input from various cities, and I do sit on one of the committees that had input into this.
I just want to clarify, this is not the city retaining a consultant. This is just us in favor of the county retaining the consultant for this county-wide plan. It's not costing us anything. I know that's very important. Is there any discussion by the council?
No.
No, let's move forward.
I need a motion.
I'll move approval of resolution 2025-02.
Second.
Motion by Councilman Werner, seconded by Councilman Martinez. Roll call. Councilman Werner.
Yes.
Councilman Martinez.
Yes.
Councilwoman Leonard.
Yes.
Vice Mayor Langowski.
Yes.
Mayor O'Connor.
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0. Thank you.
Resolution 2025-03, authorizing the city manager to execute a sponsorship agreement with AT&T Mobility. I believe we have something to add or modify or touch on.
Yes, Mr. Mayor. There were some last minute changes in the document from AT&T. I would request that the council approve it, subject to final review and approval by the attorney for signature.
So just for the public, AT&T is being kind enough to give 2,500 towards the 5K. They're giving us $2,500. When we sent over the agreement, they didn't love some of the language in there, and we're going to work it out with legal so that we can get this $2,500 towards our 5K. City Attorney, if you could read by title.
Resolution by title only, resolution of City Council, City of Westlake, Florida, approving and authorizing the city manager to execute a sponsorship agreement with AT&T Mobility LLC, providing for conflict, severability, and effective date.
Council discussion.
No.
Thank you, AT&T. There's
Absolutely.
no further discussion. May I please have a motion?
Motion.
Go ahead, Julian.
Oh. Motion to approve resolution 2025-03, subject with approval from attorney.
Second.
Motion by Councilman Martinez, seconded by Vice Mayor Langowski. Roll call. Councilman Martinez.
Yes.
Councilwoman Leonard.
Yes.
Vice Mayor Langowski.
Yes.
Mayor O'Connor.
Yes.
Councilman Werner.
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0.
All right, let's move forward with council comments. Councilwoman Leonard.
Mr. Mayor, I have no comments.
Councilman Martinez.
I just hope everyone had a happy new year. I look forward to our strategic planning that we have coming up. And the Westlake 5K is January 25th for those that have not signed up yet. It's a great cause. I look forward to seeing everybody there.
Councilman Werner.
Happy New Year to everyone here and to the council and staff. I also am looking forward to the strategic planning workshop. Looking forward to working with the council over the next year and making some improvements for our city.
Mr. Vice Mayor.
Just want to make an announcement for the Education Advisory Board. We're going to be meeting on January 16th at the City Hall at 6:30 or is it 6?
6:30.
6:30.
I'll just say a few things. One, I just want to thank everybody for being here. I truly, truly appreciate the attendance, and I love the public participation, and I think it's phenomenal. Couple other things. We have to reschedule our February meeting. A handful of us are off to DC. And that we're not going to be here. And we also need to reschedule, we need to talk about scheduling Springfest.
That's
Let-
correct.
Let's do one at a time. February meeting.
Did you say you were traveling? Is that?
Yeah, DC for the fast flying.
You thinking the second one?
We can do February 11th, which would be the second Tuesday of the month.
I can do that.
That works.
Yes.
Fine.
Done.
All right, so the February meeting will be February 11th at 6 PM.
Excellent. And then I believe the only day we can
Excuse me,
do.
could we get a motion to that effect?
Sure. Let's entertain a motion to move the regular scheduled city council meeting from February 4th to February 11th. I need to entertain that motion.
Make a motion.
Second.
We have a motion by Vice Mayor Langowski, seconded by Councilwoman Leonard. Roll call, Vice Mayor Langowski,
Yes.
Mayor O'Connor,
Yes.
Councilman Werner,
Yes.
Councilman Martinez,
Yes.
Councilwoman Leonard.
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0.
Thank you. Spring Fest. We have one day that's available and it's April 5th.
Yes, Mr. Mayor, is Easter is April 20th. April 19th is Wellington's Easter event, which will be a competition. April 12th is Passover, which wouldn't be a good day. So the only thing that is open if we're going to have a Spring Fest would be April 5th.
Does anybody have any comments on moving it? Or, I don't want to kill the spring event. I'd like to keep the spring
That
event.
sounds good.
Okay. Does that need to be a motion?
Yes.
I'll move that we,
I think he said no.
Just try to schedule it and bring it back. Work.
All right,
We'll make it happen.
make it happen. All right, staff reports.
Fire?
Fire still here?
Fire, yeah, they're here.
Happy New Year.
It's not going to work.
It's red.
Just shout at us.
Hear me?
Join someone.
Detroit fan. Happy New Year. Nice to see everybody. Tonight I brought one of the EMS captains that's been assigned to Station 22 since the EMS captain, the command staff, battalion chief, EMS captain have been staffed at Station 22. So that's going well. He's here. It's nice. He's also a Westlake resident. So it's very good.
Wow, thank you.
Troy. So last month we had 55 total calls to the city of Westlake. The average dispatch handling time was 42 seconds. The average turnout time was 44 seconds. Average travel time of 3 minutes and 59 seconds for a overall response time of 5 minutes and 26 seconds. And 50% of those were medical. So very good response time last month. Any questions, comments, concerns?
I just want to thank you for all you do. I know you popped out recently, sort of the chucks for some parades and things like that. And we always seem to manage that. So really, really appreciate it.
It's our pleasure. Happy to work.
Anybody have anything for chief? Nope. Thank you.
Tickets.
Good evening, Dennis Sellers with the Palm County Sheriff's Office. So last month, there were a total of 1,339 generated calls within the district. And 87% of those calls were self-initiated by the deputies, meaning they conduct traffic stops, business checks, residential checks, those types of things.
Sorry to interrupt real quick. You said the district. Is it, we talking about just Westlake or the just, got it. Okay. Within the city. Okay. Got it. Okay, will this reach?
Yeah.
I don't for a minute. All right. So do you want me, did you need me to repeat what I just said? Okay, certainly. During the month of December, there were 1,339 generated calls within the city of Westlake. 87% of those calls were self-initiated, meaning that deputies conducted traffic stops or they checked residential areas or businesses. Whatever they were checking out with suspicious persons, construction sites, those types of things. That's what that means. Of those 1,339 calls, 166 of them were traffic stops.
And to address your concern, I know every time I come here, we are speaking briefly about traffic. Traffic is one of the leading complaints in the city of Westlake. We do work with the city manager on a very regular basis. We're in contact. He lets us know where the areas of concerns are, and we do attack them. Over the past 30 days, we did have a traffic initiative, and I apologize, I was not anticipating speaking about that this evening, or else I would have brought the statistics with me. But our deputies did have, their main focus was on traffic, and we will continue to address those problems. Unfortunately, people are just not adhering to traffic laws, but we will continue to address it. Today was the first day back to school, and within not just Westlake, but all of the western areas that I oversee, we had 6 accidents within 2 hours of school starting. So that just tells you people are just driving careless, disobeying the traffic laws, and it's unfortunate, but we do have to work together and be mindful. So we are doing the best that we can. We will continue to address it. Our motor units have been pretty busy lately, but they will be joining forces with us, and we will tackle the problem even harder. So when we have extra staff on, we do bring them into the city, and we do address those issues as they are presented to us. Okay, so continue to communicate so we're aware of the problematic areas so we can attack them. Does anybody have any questions? Yes, sir.
Yeah, Lieutenant, thank you for your work and service here. Of 166 traffic stops, how many citations were issued?
There were 113 written warnings and 44 citations. Anybody else?
Does anybody at all have any questions for LT? Need to keep up with citations, not so many warnings. I mean,
When it comes to citations and warnings, it really is the discretion of the deputy. So we can't force them to issue a citation. It depends on the situation.
can you track? This person got stopped 3 times?
Yes, yes, that's all taken into consideration. Absolutely.
Coverage. Police officers in the city. How many deputies?
How many deputies per shift? We have 1 deputy per shift, but we also have an afternoon person. So the deputies cover from like 5 a.m. The morning people cover from like 5 a.m. to 5:30. And then we have an afternoon shift that comes in from 2 to 1.
For the whole day, the whole city.
Correct.
That's what you're telling me.
With intermittent 2 people on, yes. That's what we are paid for. That's what we're contracted for at this moment. And there is growth and the coverage will increase.
One police officer in this whole city is not 7.
It's not all the time, but we do, like I said, we do bring deputies in from other areas to assist.
How are you going to stop everything that's going on with 1 police officer?
We can't, sir. That's why I said we do the best that we can, and we do bring in resources. No, I'm just letting you know that we do recognize it. We do bring resources in from elsewhere in the agency to assist us, like our motor units or especially our commercial motor vehicles enforcement. We do periodic operations to address some of these issues, but
I think that's be great work. I'm just saying one police officer for the whole city for the day is not that.
well, it will increase. And I can't comment on that. I don't know if the city manager can regarding that, but no, but I'm just letting you know that the staffing there is a plan in place where the staffing, I don't know the numbers and the time frame off the top of my head. It will grow with the growth in Westlake. So the staffing levels for law enforcement will grow, and as does fire rescue's growth.
Also to mention that there's impressed when we have
Citizen Patrol.
11 great volunteers who go out every single day. There's 2 cars,
Correct.
patrol the entire city. They're not police officers, but should they notice anything that's going on?
Yes, they do call it.
Doing what they do, and they will report it to the PBSO.
Yes.
So that they can respond.
Thank you for sharing that. That's our citizens on patrol. We do have volunteers that do patrol the area and alert us of any issues in the area, and we meet with them once a month.
So if somebody runs a stop sign and the
citizen tells your police officer you're in a stop sign, you can give them a ticket.
No, they can't do that, sir, but they alert us to suspicious persons and different things that are happening. And they are a second set of eyes and ears, as well as all of you are. We need you to call us. Calling us after the fact, it's hard for us to address it. If something's happening, we try and get resources there as quickly as possible and address it.
You have a question for the deputy?
So addressing that concern with what seems to be a small ratio, but I'm sure in the bigger scheme, it averages out. Is there any talks of getting like red light cameras or stoplight cameras that can then increase the citations that people are getting for breaking those smaller rules that would take time away from?
That's a conversation that would have to happen with this group in the city
Well,
management.
we
That's not.
already have red light cameras.
We have LPRs.
LPRs is different than red light cameras. The license,
LPR.
the LPR is a license plate reader. It helps law enforcement with investigations of vehicles entering and exiting an area of crime, so we can track those
For a fact
vehicles.
that you have red light cameras, because I got caught once. Yeah.
It couldn't have been, to my knowledge, you do not. To my knowledge, you do not have red light cameras here. They are. There are red light cameras that other jurisdiction, other areas are looking into, but not in Westlake. Those are cameras, I believe. Those are traffic cameras. They're not red light cameras.
Bring your citation to the.
Too late. I didn't want.
They have traffic cameras on top of the traffic lights.
What's the situation in December regarding in Westlake criminal activity?
For December?
Correct.
Oh, my apologies. I didn't even mention that. My apologies. So for the month of December, there were 2 construction burglaries, one where a piece of equipment was stolen and it was recovered. We had 1 theft of a telephone from a package. And we also had a vandalism of a vehicle, and it unfortunately doesn't tell me what it was. So it appeared it was minor damage to somebody's vehicle.
Are there any reports of break-ins at residents' homes?
No residential burglaries.
Mr. City Manager, do you have the number if we were to add 1 additional deputy ballpark?
I believe at this point in time, to add 1 at the current rates is about $160K. Currently, you're right. Currently, we have a total of 7, 8.
We have 2, 4, 6.
That's total 6.
We had 7.
No, it was 6 last year.
It should be 7.
500,000, I think.
Yeah.
6, yeah, 6.
So basically, every officer cost us anywhere from $150,000 to $165,000 for each officer. In order to have 1 officer full-time, 24 hours, it takes 5 officers to do that because of shifts and times and stuff like that. We've added, as we've grown, we've added to 6 officers. We will be budgeting for more, but again, it goes right into your taxes, right into whatever you're going. We can put as many officers on as you want if you're willing to pay for them.
I think the idea is to grow responsibly.
Exactly.
Any other questions? Yes, ma'am.
Goes through Persimmon, that intersection of Persimmon and Lilacs every morning, and just blatantly run stop signs that with regular, full speed. And everybody has like the same footage of this guy, with his license plate showing. And I'm just wondering, as far as problem drivers go, how, does social media help you at all? If we show you a bunch of videos of the same guy running stop signs with his.
It certainly can. I encourage you to reach out and contact us so we can get that information from you. And then it gives the deputies, you can email, I can give you my email. It's Sowers, SAUERS, D as in Darla, @pbso.org. And you can certainly feel free to email me or look on our website. There's phone calls on there as well. And we can set up the area for what's called residential checks. And we can have somebody frequently check that area. That's usually what we do on problematic areas, or we'll send you know, a grouping.
Pretty much same.
We,
Yeah,
okay.
give me the time of day. I'll instruct them to make sure somebody's there to get him.
He's good about notifying us.
Yeah. If you all give me the areas that you see as problem areas, trust me, I get the lieutenant lots of emails to say, this neighborhood, this area, these streets, you need to work it. And they do. Yes.
With real-time stuff, so.
Elsie, as we grow responsibly, what would it take for our next deputy that we had to be a dedicated Westlake motorcycle?
I believe that would be in the contract discussions, correct?
Yes,
Get a point, so.
I will look into that. I believe we had to.
Traffic, correct. And it just so happens that one of the deputies we currently have is potentially going to the motor unit, so. No, he's a great guy. He does traffic all the time, so.
So let's make that part of the conversation.
Yep.
Please.
Anybody have any more questions for LT?
Wait.
And that, just keep the
Feel
meeting.
free to reach out, sir.
Thank you for your service.
Talking with you.
Thank you for the.
Oh, thank you very much.
You don't want
All right, Mr. City Attorney,
No, sir. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you. Mr. City Manager,
Just two items. You remember that last meeting you discussed something about the proper spacing and number of big box stores. I have a proposal that I'll be executing with Calvin Giordano and Associates to do a study on that to report back to us as to the current standards, current spacing of big box stores from place to place.
what's the price tag?
Forget what it is.
$65.
$66. $6,600.
Council?
I think it's worth pursuing.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm good with it. I know it was brought up for the distance.
Can you
and
put it on
size.
the next agenda, Council Fox?
Well, we can execute it and go ahead, but it actually, if we get it started, that could also be used as part of the strategic planning process to
Yeah, we
have that
definitely want that.
information
Good,
as
I like
well.
it then. I'm in. If it's a twofer, I'm in.
Yep.
All right, that's just a council direction? It's not, there's no issue. The point I was responding to is that he's found an additional use of the consultant, not only for the purpose of investigating the distance between and the impact of the distance between big box stores, but also in terms of the strategic planning, we'll be able to use the same consultant for both. And I like
That information will be useful as we go forward.
So, okay. Carry
Yeah.
on.
The only other thing is I received notice today that from the ICMA, International City Managers Association, that I have received my credentialed manager.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Anything else for us?
That's it for now.
Was the path to the school open today?
I was down south at another meeting. I did not check it, but I did not hear
Does
anything.
anybody know if the path to the school was open today? Okay, good. Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Waste management, do you talk about the trash or the RFP for the RFP for?
That
No,
was-
we're
that was in
extending
the
it for the,
update.
that was in the
That was in
update.
the manager update.
As far as waste management, they were late today on their collections. Hanif was all over them, and we will be fining them for non-performance.
Good. I like that.
Yeah.
How much do we find them?
I have to look at the.
Enough to pay for that consultant or not?
Not that much, not that much. I think last time we fined them, it was, several days. We fined them about $4,000 or $5,000. This is, yes.
Almost. Okay.
It depends on how many times they're late, et cetera, is how we determine the fine.
Excellent.
They were out there actually probably still collecting. I haven't seen from, Yeah.
Not yet, not yet.
Also,
We're gonna open it up for public
they've
comment.
got some issue of trucking.
Promise.
But anyway,
Okay, is that all you got for us, Mr. City Manager?
that's it.
Public comments. This section of the agenda allows for comments from the public to speak. Each speaker will be given a total of 3 minutes to comment. A public comment card should be completed and returned to the city clerk. When you're called to speak, please go to the podium and prior to addressing the council, state your name and address for the record. All public comments will be noted and may receive response. Any follow-up will be handled by staff at a later time. Madam Clerk, do we have any public comment cards?
You have a comment card from Ms. Tapiero.
Danny Rodriguez Tapiero, 599.
Yeah.
All right, do you hear me better?
Yep.
Yep. Okay, so first of all, I appreciate all of you, you all neighbors. I like you all. And I, and I really appreciate Mr. Castle.
Here we go.
Coffee.
Yeah.
I'll use and, I won't use but. Coffee with the manager. I know Alicia's always there. So I really, really do appreciate all you guys. However, not but, I do have concerns. I don't, as a board, I don't think you're representing us. In all honesty, I would like an answer to whether you will look at the comprehensive plan from the attorney. In addition, I'm very concerned about the conflict of interest. It's come up. For example, I understand in the last meeting we had, we added, or you guys added, the vote, 2 agenda items. I'm voting on the, what is the folks that fight to get things done? Huh? Lobbyists, yes, lobbyists. And it was added, it was never on the computer, no one knew it was going to happen. And I understand that we are actually paying for the lobbyists that are part of Monto's legal office. If that is incorrect, you get to correct me.
The
But suggestion back- I'm sorry?
We've addressed it. It's incorrect.
It's incorrect, okay. Second, the conflicts of interest and the comprehensive plan. Mr. Mayor, you said that we gotta wait to see about Walmart. But then it's too late, because then you sign off and you kind of put the stamp of approval for Minto. So are we, for the attorney, are we able to look at the comprehensive plan and pre-plan towards that?
Ma'am, you heard a presentation from Mr. Sugarman. That is the first step.
In the strategic planning?
Yes, ma'am.
Beautiful, thank you. So maybe we could postpone every hearing from Walmart Lowe's till after
It's
that.
been presented to me.
In case it comes to you, in case it comes to you. And then the conflict of interest, as great as the work the city manager does, we are all not very happy with Sid. You guys did a great job, you didn't raise our taxes, but even now we hear about this park. And I know that you say you're looking to get funds. So my question would be, what happens if you don't get the funds? Our manager said, we will, you're not gonna build it, because what I heard was our manager saying, they will come out of our taxes. So does that mean you won't build it?
That was if it gets built, the maintenance overall would end up coming out of your taxes or your assessments with SID. If you don't build it, it becomes a large field, which is open for use, doesn't have any facilities in it.
Okay, so we will not.
I said on the record that we will not raise I will not be in favor of raising taxes to build the park.
Okay, beautiful. So that,
Right, that's
I will end
quite
with
a-
this, I will end with this. We should not add anything to the agenda like lobbyists unless we already have it and the community knows about it and comes out. Because for example, that day it was added, it was voted on, is money that the city's gonna pay, and no one knew because it was added that day. So those are all my comments. I appreciate it and I'm looking forward for those,
Thank you
for that to be fit.
Thank you for your comment. Madam Clerk, do we have any more public comment?
I have no additional comment cards.
All right, who's got their hand up first? You want the mic? No, that one doesn't work.
Not that mic, Bobby.
All right, Bobby Farber, 4829 St. Armand's Way. I want to go back to your resolution 2025-02. Just clarify for me The transportation, I know that last month or in prior months, you were talking about a geo fence, an accessorized type of transportation. Are we now talking about actual mass transit such as buses or anything of that nature? Mr. Castle?
At this time, I do not know what that will come up with. I do not know.
So the consultants are just going to come in. This is all now going to get figured out what type of transportation, if any.
Correct. And what the county needs, whether it's widening certain roads, whether it's adding buses, whether it's adding other types of mass transportation to the county. It's a county-wide look at how to move people from point A to point B.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Saw that hand come up.
It's one right to over.
You got to come and state your name and address for the record. I'm sorry. Thank you for your comment, Mr. Farber.
Good evening. My name is Eric Raywall. I'm at 5326 Liberty Lane. Real quick, post office. What is the status of a Westlake post office?
Non-existent. I know that it was a year, perhaps a year, 2 years ago. The postmaster reached out because they were interested. I know that the landowner was very, very accommodating, basically offering them very, very discounted land, and nothing ever came of it.
Okay, so it's in the court of the.
It's in the post office's hands, yeah.
Okay, nothing against Loxahatchee, but.
I agree with you. Listen, I would love a Westlake post office, and maybe even its own zip code would be great, but
All right.
certainly a
Is
post
there-
office
is
would
there
be
anything that the
fantastic.
people can lobby to do to?
I think
Right.
emails to the postmaster
Okay.
would be great. Absolutely.
At least to get your own zip code, because then if you got your own zip code, for example, in the north area around here, if you're 33412, you could be West Palm Beach, or you could be Loxahatchee. You could put either one as your actual city or designation. But the zip code is to a specific area. So
I think it would be
you could
great to
lobby
have our
for
own
that.
post office.
Okay.
And
Thank
as
you for
we
your time.
continue to grow, it would be an advantage.
All right, thank you.
Thank you for your comment. Who's next? You got to do your own public comment for 3 minutes. You got to come up to the podium and state your name and address to the record. No, okay.
I saw this hand come up first, actually.
Yeah, this is not like a town hall style meeting. You have to do public comment.
Hi, Rebecca Taylor. My address is 13566 Spruce Pine Drive, back in the Pines. Super excited. We're the new community. I do want to go back to resolution 2025-01. I just want to say it's kind of disappointing and disheartening, like being new, coming into my first meeting and feeling like services are being contracted without having an RFP. I don't know if it sounds like there weren't any other quotes. We don't really know what the qualifications are for this consultant. All due respect, I just don't know like what other cities you have done this kind of planning for. And so I think it's a dangerous precedent for the city of Westlake to contract services without getting multiple bids. We're spending a lot of money on this, and I just want to make sure that we're getting the best thing for our city.
To answer your concern, generally speaking, municipalities do not seek RFPs for professional services, contractual services, construction, but not professional services. But they do entertain and reach out to various companies or entities and seek proposals, which I think was sufficient in this case.
I would disagree. Even without a formal
I'm
RFP,
just
I think
speaking
we
legally.
multiple quotes though. You know, this was the only person that we reached out to or that we received this kind of information from. So even without a formal RFP, I would just encourage all of you in the future to look at multiple options and make sure we're truly getting the best thing for Westlake.
I couldn't agree with you more, actually. If you hear that, Ken Castle, I'm all about saving money where we can and having options. Options are never a terrible thing. So thank you for your comment, Ms. Taylor.
Chad Isaacson, 15398 Goldfinch Circle. I might have brought this up months and months and months ago. If I didn't bring it up here and I brought it up under my HOA, I apologize. If I did, is there a way to get these resolutions on the website with common language? Because some of it, I mean, several people are like, what does that mean? Like, sometimes we as normal people don't understand legalese. And I know politicians do like, and no offense to you guys right now, but politicians do like to put stuff in legalese so the normal people don't understand. So is there a way to have it on the website, not necessarily printed, but on a website that if I wanted to really understand what that resolution is meaning and doing, that we have somewhere to go?
You need to look at the packet. That's just a regular agenda.
Okay.
If you look at the packet, there's hyperlinks.
So it is, okay.
Yeah,
So
you can click on the letter and it'll,
I did look at the website, but I opened the packet. Okay, got it.
the red PDF opens up on the packet and it'll let you, it has a whole explanation, the application.
Okay. Okay.
Pictures.
Yeah.
Perfect. And then the park we got dealt with, the lot. Is there anything that we can do legally as a city or as residents to put a cap on SID? Because right now SID can do whatever they want as far as raising prices, 5%, 10%. You may not be able to do something as a city, but is there something that the city can do or that we can do to cap how much they go up?
That's not within the municipal powers granted to Westlake. That would be, you would have to address that directly with the board
Okay.
of SID.
I mean, because at the end of the day, yeah, you lowered our taxes, but at the end of the day, Sid jacks them way up. And the residents, even though they're two separate entities, the residents still look at it as they commingle a lot, especially when we have Ken. I know there's a lot of talk that he's not a conflict of interest, but I do kind of feel if he's in there talking about raising taxes over here and we're lowering taxes here, all he's got to do is say, hey, JP's going to lower the taxes over there. So go ahead and jack the taxes. I'm not saying he is, but I'm just saying is it does kind of create that image of conflict of interest. And then the last thing is, again, no offense to either one, but do we do annual contracts or 5-year, 3-year contracts with the city manager and the attorney to where review their contracts and look at other potential candidates for that role?
They are both under contracts that we renew.
They're evergreen contracts, basically. City manager and the attorney and others are at the will of the council, and we're reviewed on every month, basically.
We do an annual review on the performance every year.
He's saying the contract is a month-to-month contract.
It's an evergreen contract. It has a termination clause on both of them that can be terminated at any time by this council.
Okay. Is there benchmarks that you guys have that they have to meet or criteria?
I have my own, sure. Absolutely, yes.
Okay.
What's that?
The council on the whole does not.
Okay.
It's something that we should do as a group. We can discuss that at our strategic planning session.
I mean, I'm not saying whether either one of them are doing a bad or good job. It's just, I think there should be some type of matrix
You haven't looked
created.
for an annual review yet, but
No,
I
I
think that's part of that.
No, I agree.
Okay.
Maribel Garcia, 16095 Whipple Wheel. So for one reason, I believe all of you are sitting in that chair. So I put my hand like this and I said, I hope you keeping our city one of the most beautiful place and the safe place in the whole world. Because that's the reason we're here. And we trust you. That's the only one I said. Thank you.
Thank you.
Kevin Brown, 13566 Spruce Pine Drive. Just curious if there are any updates on the Persimmon East cut through or the link up to 60th. Anything to alleviate the traffic or have to avoid driving the other direction.
Mr. City Manager, you got anything?
There's a lawsuit that's still in place and there's an appeal.
For both of those?
No, there's no lawsuit on 60th.
Not on 60th. 60th is
Is there a language on Persimmon?
the access to Persimmon, yes, to 140th.
That's the 140th connection.
That's the 140th connection. The 60th Street is in the county's court as far as accepting the land and building the road.
Okay. The Persimmon East cut through, is that the one, there was a construction entrance for a time?
Correct.
And that's
Yes.
the start of that lawsuit? Okay. Awesome. Thank you.
Do we have any other public comment? Mr. Sarandis, state your name and address for the record.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Ted Sarandis, 15780 Crestwind Place. I just want to follow up real quick on two terrific comments from my neighbors. I think first, we've got to get all of you to agree. There's got to be a request for a proposal on anybody that does business with the city. And I'm sure Mr. Sugarman's operation's great. Maybe we can get the clerk to post a link to his website. We just would like to find out, what is his organization about? Who is it? Where, what do they do? Are they partisan? Are they nonpartisan? So can we get you to, Mr. Mayor, to approve a link on the city website? We can check out Mr. Sugarman's organization. That'd be great. And then can I direct my comment to the city manager? Ken, especially since you are involved with both here and SID, and my colleague raises that fundamental issue. Could you ask SID to move their meetings here? Make it easier for all of us to go to their meetings, and so we can have citizen involvement. I went to one meeting, it was 150 degrees in that small little cubicle. The guy brings his dog, the dog didn't like me. I mean, it's not a comfortable situation. And SID controls the water. We pay the water. SID controls the roads. I've talked to the council about the roads. They'd like to accommodate my concerns. They can't do it because SID controls the roads. Would you please facilitate SID moving their meetings here to this beautiful lodge? Thank you.
Thank you for your comment. I thought I saw another hand. Here we go. Yes.
Just have a quick question.
See how
If
quick
I'm,
I answered that?
and you can tell me if I'm incorrect in this. I know when the city was started, when I first built out here, right? They put aside some land for a school. Is that still true? Okay.
Yes.
What is the timeline for that school to come on?
So I don't know the exact time frame, but I did hear from one of the school board officials that they're having to move up the timeline because of our growth.
That's why, yeah.
So it's happening sooner than they were anticipating happening, but August 2027 should be open.
Okay,
Breaking ground.
okay. And that was the original date?
No. It was originally past that.
2028.
Okay. And it's an elementary school? Okay, because the current elementary school, the principal and I are friends and they are.
Coming down the street.
Okay, that was my, say it again?
Another middle school.
Another middle school as well. Okay, because I know Arden went to the board and they got their school
High school,
timeline.
Coconut and North Lake.
Coconut and North Lake and
The first school will be done.
the middle school.
It'll be breaking.
Okay, gotcha. Thank you.
Thank you. Please. Thank you for your comment.
Jackie
meant to.
Campbell.
I did it in my brain.
Jackie Campbell, 15938 Key Biscayne Lane. I have a concern. For the past few meetings, when I tried to speak, I'm shut up. Yes,
No.
I was told I can't, I'm talking too long, and I'm just bringing it because
Oh,
we said.
past 3 minutes.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
tonight, and I'm being told that I cannot speak more than 3 times, more than 1 time. Tonight, I'm seeing, I'm being very quiet back there tonight, but I'm seeing people talking 3 or 4 times and at length. Why am I singled out?
So we only do public comments at the beginning and at the end. Where you're saying people have talked several times, like while the LT was up here and they're speaking back and forth with her, that's
No,
not
no,
during
no,
public comment.
I got that part.
We've only allowed people to do public
I
comment at
got-
the
I
beginning
got that
and at
part.
the end. And also there's some agenda items that we open up for public comment per item. So you're allowed, but not everything.
That's what I'm talking about.
Okay.
When I'm trying to speak.
Nobody
whenever
has
I
been
have an
allowed to
issue,
speak past 3 minutes.
That's.
There's an alarm that
That's
goes
what
off.
happened tonight. Okay, I'm seeing like people talking 3 times, different times about different issues. And I'm being told I can't.
Yes, that's
do
what I
that.
tried to explain, is there's some agenda items that have public comment under the specific
Like
item.
like 3 or 4 times.
Yeah.
So I want to stop speaking at these meetings because I have things you probably want to hear about and I'm not going to say because I'm being shut up.
I don't think you're
Okay,
being shut up.
just let you know that it's not right.
Thank you for your comment. Do we have any more public comments? All right. Please. It is 7. So can you specify at what point do we have more than 2 deputies?
Motion of the day.
Okay. Thank you so much, Lieutenant.
Thank you.
Yes.
All right.
I'm trying to think. Now I don't know. You went at the beginning, but not at the end. Correct. So you could still make public comment.
Be very quick.
Okay.
Couple of things. I've been in South Florida
Just, I
here.
need you to state your name and address.
Kevin Summer, 15763 Goldfinch, sir. Been here 40, 50 years, and as far as SID is concerned, I've been to many of their meetings. There's no way to say this, but they're elected, and they get elected from Loxahatchee, I do believe.
No.
In the acreage.
No.
Are they appointed?
Seminole Improvement District is landowner elected from the land which is contained within the city of Westlake. It is coterminous with Westlake. It existed before Westlake.
Well, I understand that.
But it's a land.
I've tried to communicate with them. There's no communicating with
It's
them.
a
They do what they
landowner's
want to do. So that's what I'll put that out. The fines that we have that we're doing with the trash, where does that money go?
Goes back into the city budget, into the solid waste fund.
Okay. Contracts. I'm sure he is one of the best in the business, but we should never do anything without multiple bids.
I agree.
Never. That's our tax money.
Not agree more.
If we had 2 or 3 and they're all in the same, we could have had cheaper. Could have saved us money. Mr. Castle said about 30 minutes ago, if you want your taxes to increase, we can do more police. I believe that's what he said.
That is correct.
That is up to you guys to figure out the budget. Our number one thing should be the safety of this community. That's all I've got to say.
Thank you for your comment. You can make public comment. State your name and address.
Dale Sugarman, 4343 Star Ruby Boulevard in Boynton Beach. I'd be happy to withdraw my proposal, and you're invited to go out and solicit proposals from other firms.
I would like to see us get a few quotes for anything over $2,000, let's say, if the city's going to spend more than $2,000.
I have no problem with.
I think we should get at least multiple quotes. That should be common practice. I don't think you need to withdraw your proposal.
No, I will.
But I think we should, at least moving forward, let's make sure we get multiple quotes for things.
It's up to the city
You know,
council.
we don't necessarily even always have to go with the cheapest quote if somebody's providing way more service, for a little bit more, but you're getting a lot more. But that should be a decision, and then you should evaluate it and come to us and say, I got 3 quotes. This one makes the most sense in my opinion, but it's up to you guys.
Mayor, I agree with your overall
Sentiment.
suggestion, but I also believe that we are in desperate need of the strategic planning workshop. And I think the sooner we get that done, the better off we'll all be. We can deal with the budget and proposals on future issues.
No, I agree with you. I'm saying, I think for moving forward, we should make it common practice to let's get extra quotes.
I'll let you know how many proposals I got on each one of them and who I recommend.
So we're good.
I'm not to withdraw.
No, moving forward.
You're good, Dale.
We're not going to accept your.
You're good, Dale.
You want to reduce it, we'll take that too.
How about a 10%?
No, the reason why I offered to withdraw is because I know what other firms will charge. And my price will not be anywhere close to what other firms charge. Because I'm a local government Palm Beach County manager for 34 years here. I know the business. I know, well, enough said.
Thank you.
There's,
She's gonna get control.
Yeah, we can't.
after,
We can't have people
on and off,
Treatment
you can,
costs.
you can do a one-on-one with Jill.
If you want to ask him a question after the meeting, that's perfectly fine.
I want to add something to that though. Can we have a presentation with the bids that we have, pros, cons, what they offer, prices, as well as your suggestion? I've seen this in HOA meetings where they go out for, let's say, streetlights or, council lights.
Council manager form of government is not an HOA form of government.
I understand. I was
It's
just
a
giving an
different form
example.
of government. What typically happens is the manager or staff will come together and solicit proposals and bring the best proposal to the board if it's required to be brought before the board. Under certain issues, certain ways things are set up, there is no requirement to bring it back for the board for approval, but on other items you do.
Right. I understand that. And that's why we're changing this now to want this to become the norm.
Then you're basically, correct me if I'm wrong, Mr. Attorney, you're changing it from a council manager form of government to a strong council government, and that's not in your charter.
Can we have this on an agenda item in the
I
future?
think that's a better approach.
Okay, then let's absolutely put this on a future agenda.
That way we get all the information.
Absolutely.
I agree. Did you want to make public comment? Okay, I'm going to adjourn this meeting. My phone at 7:58 PM and hit the gavel for probably the second time in history.